This video is a compilation of events that took place in the first week of February. It is about the events that took place on February 3rd to 9th, 2025, so this video is a weekly review video. Please remember this. The Russian infantry continues to advance in the village of Dakhnoye as a result of the harmonious work of the artillery crews and drone operators of the 68th Tank Regiment of the 150th Motorized Rifle Division of the 150th Motorized Rifle Division of the 8th Regular Army of the Armed Forces of the Russian Federation. Russian drone operators transmit precise coordinates to the artillery unit, after which the artillerymen start firing one shot after another. At the same time, drone operators directly attack the targets they can detect. Artillery of the 40th Marine Brigade of the Northern Troops destroyed armored vehicles of assault groups in the border area of the Kursk region. Artillery units need precise coordinates for accurate firing. The clearest and fastest reconnaissance drone operators can provide these coordinates. As a result of the harmonious work of drone operators and artillery units, targets can be accurately hit. The FPV drone operators of the 14th Guards Brigade of the Special Forces of the Vostok Group moved quickly towards the pickup truck they had spotted. They encountered 4 soldiers. This is what happened. A trench-digging vehicle used by the Ukrainian armed forces was attacked by Russian troops. The crew quickly ran away from the scene. The source of the attack is not specified in the details of the news, but I think it was a drone attack or a tank attack. Don't forget to express your opinion. The incident took place in the direction of Chasiv Yar. There was a FPV drone attack on an excavator that crossed the river and formed an embankment in the South Donetsk direction. A soldier of the Russian armed forces was given the task of throwing an anti-tank mine. The soldier, advancing alone to the positions, ran to the point where he was to throw the anti-tank mine, and without delay, threw the bag full of anti-tank mines inside and ran away. With a huge explosion, the target was blown up. The soldier ran away from the scene. Several armored vehicles were destroyed during an attempted attack in the Kursk region. A large number of armored combat vehicles of the Ukrainian armed forces, which went on the offensive, were repelled by Russian FPV drone operators. The crews of the heavily damaged armored combat vehicles took shelter by running towards the forest area. A total of 3 tanks were destroyed in these images. In addition, according to the news, 2 HIMARS, that is, engineering obstacle clearance or trench digging vehicles, were destroyed. At the same time, according to the text in the news report, 18 out of 25 TBMs were destroyed. A TBM is a tunnel boring machine. Please correct me in the comments if I have misunderstood. Russian reconnaissance drone operators detected the bunker of the self-propelled artillery installation of the Ukrainian armed forces. The attack drone was then sent in, and as a result of its accurate strike, the self-propelled gun was first burned and then destroyed with a massive explosion. artillery of the Dnieper Group opened direct fire on the bunkers of the armed forces of Ukraine in the Zaporozhye region. The reconnaissance unit of FPV drone operators transmitted the coordinates of the bunkers to the artillery unit. Then, as a result of precise adjustments, the bunkers were destroyed. Since the bunkers are under the ground, drone strikes may not be very effective. Therefore, artillery is more effective for destroying bunkers. The bunkers must be attacked from above. That's why attacks like tanks are not effective against bunkers. Russian drone operators detected the Leopard tank and destroyed it in successive strikes without wasting any time. In the same area, FPV drones dived directly into an armored vehicle that was heavily damaged and fell into a ditch, destroying it. Infantry entering the bunker in the ditch were tracked. In the Donetsk direction, Russian FAB-500 aerial bombs hit the targeted fortress with a direct hit. The FAB-500 is a Soviet Russian-made general-purpose bomb weighing 500 kilograms. It is a free-fall, unguided bomb, usually used in airstrikes. The FAB-500 is dropped by fighter jets. It is designed to cause massive destruction to buildings, industrial facilities, ammunition depots, and enemy positions. In Dzerzhinsk, Donetsk Oblast, a Russian kamikaze drone destroyed an armored vehicle of the Ukrainian armed forces with a precision strike. After the armored vehicle was destroyed, another tank was detected in the same area, and the tank was also destroyed by a kamikaze drone. A large number of tanks, infantry fighting vehicles, and cars were destroyed en route from the Sumy region to Kursk. How much do you think FPV drones contributed to the course of the war? Do you think FPV drones are the main factor that changed the war? FPV drones really contribute a lot to the army, both in terms of attack and reconnaissance. Thanks to their low cost, these technological devices are produced very quickly, and if they can hit the target directly, they have a devastating effect. However, since FPV drones can make very fast and sudden maneuvers, they become very difficult to target. How do you think an infantryman can shoot down a FPV drone? What kind of weapon does he need for that? In the Kursk region, the fiber-optic drone Prince Vandal of Novgorod directly hit and destroyed armored vehicles on the road. One of the armored vehicles is an Iveco. Iveco's armored vehicles are used by NATO and armies of various countries for security operations and on the battlefield. These vehicles are noted for their durability, modular armor options, and powerful engines. In the direction of Kharkov, crews of 120mm SAN mortars and 82mm Podnose mortars of the Northern Group of Forces fired in succession, destroying light armored vehicles of the Ukrainian armed forces and various military equipment. 2S-12 Sani, 120mm heavy mortar system. It is towed, has a range of 7.1 kilometers, and provides indirect fire support at battalion level. 2 B-14 Podnose, 82mm portable mortar system. Lightweight and fast deployable, it has a range of 4.2 kilometers and is used for close fire support at company level. On a cold and snowy day, Russian troops launched an air and ground operation against positions of the Ukrainian armed forces. First, we see drones attacking. Then the soldiers go directly into the positions and try to eliminate the dangers using grenades. Then they open direct fire on the bunkers.
Троих синих забрали. Молодчики, все, парни, закрепляемся.
The crews of the Ivanovo Guards Air Force's 122mm towed D-30 howitzer, opened fire on points detected by Russian reconnaissance drone operators. These points included armored vehicles, firepower, ammunition depots, and fortified positions. The crew of the D-30 howitzer entered the coordinates given by the drone operators precisely into the D-30 howitzer and opened fire one after the other without any delay. You can see the harmonious work of drone operators and howitzer crews. Fighters of the 34th Separate Guards Motorized Rifle Brigade in the Kursk region are directly hitting positions buried in the ground. These bunkers, which are used as temporary deployments or temporary shelters, become very visible when it snows. This makes them very easy to detect and hit. Although FPV drones cannot cause destructive damage to such bunkers under the ground, we can say that they still cause damage. For example, communication devices may be damaged as a result of the explosion of the FPV drone's ammunition. Mesta self-propelled artillery, as a result of good calculations, hit the UAV control center of the Ukrainian armed forces. It then destroyed a detected armored personnel carrier with a direct hit. In the village of Peshanoy, Pokrovskoy direction, a Russian drone team attacked lightly armored combat vehicles that had been attacked and apparently abandoned. According to the details of the news, the drone that carried out the attack is the Prince of Novgorod Vandal drone model. Fierce clashes continue to take place in Malinovka. Russian FPV drone operators are conducting direct FPV drone strikes on temporary deployment positions. The advantage gained as a result of the attacks has expanded the logistics routes of the Russian troops. Intelligence in the hit positions was seriously damaged. The position of the front line of Russian troops in Ruskoe, Cherkasko, and Poreshnoye has improved, but this is more of a tactical success, because the line of control remained virtually unchanged. In the Kursk region, the Russian operator chased the military vehicle of the armed forces of Ukraine for a long time. This video actually showed us that. It showed how fast FPV drones are and how long range they have. It is almost impossible to escape from drones in an open terrain, even if it is a car. What do you think about FPV drones? How do you explain this situation? Write your thoughts in the comments. The positions of the Ukrainian armed forces, which are located in forested areas and are relatively obvious, have been attacked by Russian FPV drones. The positions contain various communication devices, ammunition, and supplies. Such locations allow for temporary deployment of troops. It provides quick shelter after a possible attack. However, it is not safe to stay in these positions for long, because they are an easy target to be attacked. In fact, soldiers are constantly on the move to avoid being spotted and attacked. Russian reconnaissance drone operators transmitted the coordinates of a group of Ukrainian armed forces soldiers to the artillery unit. The artillery unit, which precisely adjusted the coordinates, started firing. The incident took place in the Donetsk region. The video belongs to the Russian Defense Ministry. The operation was carried out by the artillery of the Zapad Force Group. The calculation of the Sarich-2 UAV in the Orakhovsky direction in the Zaporozhye region hit the column of armored vehicles of the armed forces of Ukraine. In terms of hardware, the Sarich-2 is equipped with a video camera and thermal imager. It also has an onboard computer that can independently process incoming information. This system is able to detect enemy equipment at a distance of 2.5 kilometers and calculate the coordinates of the target to facilitate the operator's work. Near the village of Stupaki, Russian reconnaissance drone operators detected a mortar position. The fiber-optic drone operators of the 27th Artillery Regiment of the 6th Division immediately sent an attack drone. In the first attack, the camouflage was destroyed and mortars appeared. In the second attack, the drone dived directly at the mortar and destroyed it. Prince of Novgorod Vandal FPV drone chasing Kozak armored fighting vehicle in Pokrovskoye direction. The operator of the FPV drone attacked several times but could not hit the desired point and retreated. Then he attacked once again, hitting the point where the armored vehicle's equipment was located. Drone operators of the 27th Artillery Regiment of the 6th Division detected the UAV control point of the armed forces of Ukraine. Then the fiber-optic drone, Prince Vandal, slowly glided to the UAV control point and hit it with pinpoint accuracy. In the village of Fedorovka, in the direction of Chasiv Yar, German-made 155mm self-propelled guns PZH-2000 were detected. The actively fighting self-propelled gun was tracked for a while. Because it was located in a densely wooded area, it would have been difficult for drones to penetrate it. The self-propelled vehicle was parked after a while, and the crew left. The Russian FPV drones then moved in and destroyed the 155mm self-propelled PZH-2000 with a single strike. The Russian Defense Ministry has released footage from Toretsk. The video belongs to the Russian Defense Ministry. Almost all of the buildings in the area where intense clashes continue are in ruins. Clashes continue between cold, gray, ruined buildings. The points used by the soldiers as temporary deployments are being hit by FPV drone operators. The positions were hit as a result of the reconnaissance operators working in harmony with the attack operators. At the same time, communication devices used for communication are also reported to have been destroyed. In the direction of Kharkov, a Russian B-40 FPV drone destroyed 4 Ukrainian UAVs. Here are the images. Russian FPV drone operator in the direction of Kharkov destroyed the detected machine gun formation. A powerful explosion occurred immediately after the drone strike. What do you think could be the cause of the explosion? Bradley was destroyed in the Pokrovsky direction. As a result of 2 drone strikes by fiber optic drones, the Bradley armored combat vehicle was destroyed by fire. The detected Humvee was destroyed with a single strike. The High Mobility Multi-Purpose Wheeled Vehicle is a light tactical armored military vehicle developed by the United States. Russian armed forces seized a Mastiff armored personnel carrier in the southern Donetsk direction, the Defense Ministry said. Video. Russian Defense Ministry.
Так, вот было попадание по технике. Кумулятивный заряд, предположительно, наверное, даже не один. Вот. Усиленное бронирование. Вот попадание с пулемета, скорее всего, или осколков. Ну, насколько она помогла, можете видеть. Она сгорела. Боевое отделение для перевозки десанта 8 человек. Вот, но оно выгорело.
The Mastiff Armored Personnel Carrier is a mine-resistant, ambush-protected MRAP-class armored vehicle manufactured by Force Protection, Inc., a U.S.-based company, used by the United Kingdom. In the Baranovka region, bunkers of the armed forces of Ukraine were destroyed as a result of precision strikes of artillery units. In the village of Guevo, a truck of the armed forces of Ukraine was blown up. In the Sumy and Kursk regions, Russian drone operators continue their reconnaissance. In the village of Miropole, an infantry bunker was detected, and 2 attack drones carried out a direct dive attack. Another bunker detected in the same direction was destroyed by artillery units in a single strike. In the village of Dmitrikov, buildings used by soldiers as temporary deployment points were targeted by drones. At the same time, there were several communication devices on the roofs of the buildings, which were also destroyed. In the direction of Toretsk, artillery opened direct fire on troops stationed in the high-rise buildings of the city. The artillery opened fire according to the coordinates provided by the drone operators. Infantry do not stay in one area or location for long. They are constantly on the move, and the reason for this is that when the enemy gives coordinates to their units, they do not stay there, and thus evade the attack. I hope I have expressed it correctly. Please correct me in the comments if I have made a mistake. Russian armored combat vehicle under heavy fire. The crew of the armored infantry fighting vehicle resists the intense attack from FPV drones. At the same time, intense artillery shelling is taking place. We see two Baba Yaga drones fighting back against the attacks. There is an intense attack from all sides. The Russian unit successfully landed on the positions, and the crew was unharmed. Really exciting moments. Drone operators of the 83rd Airborne Brigade shot down the 203mm self-propelled gun 2S7 Pion used by the armed forces of Ukraine. Thanks to the precise maneuvers of the drone operators, the target was hit precisely. In the direction of Kupiansk, positions of the Ukrainian armed forces were detected and destroyed one by Russian FPV drones. Lancet, ZALA Lancet, specialized for autonomous and kamikaze attack. Orlan 10 FPV, modification, capable of reconnaissance and target marking. Flying commercial FPV drones, cheap drones that can be modified to carry anti-tank or bombs. Tachyon FPV, a reconnaissance drone more resistant to electronic warfare systems. Russia and Ukraine are two countries that have used drones extensively in warfare. There are differences between the drones of both sides, but the most important differences are in technology, range, types of attack, and production processes. Russia focuses on larger, longer-range kamikaze drones. Ukraine uses lighter, faster, and more accurate FPV and UCAV systems more effectively. Both sides use electronic warfare systems to neutralize enemy drones. In the forests of Kharkov, the operator of the Vandal fiber optic drone moves slowly to his target, without touching any bushes in fine and precise maneuvers. As soon as he reaches his target, he suddenly accelerates and launches a direct attack. A direct attack on an abandoned pickup truck on the side of the road was carried out and the truck was destroyed. The Russian infantry is dropping bags of explosives on the detected bunkers. This bunker, which had already been hit by FPV drones, was blown up as a result of the bomb dropped by the infantry. FPV drone operators reported the coordinates of a detected bunker to a Russian soldier, who proceeded to the entrance of the bunker with slow, silent steps. He threw a backpack full of explosives inside and quickly walked away. Two Russian soldiers throwing grenades one after the other into a small bunker. According to my estimates, there is no one in the bunker, but in order to take precautions and ensure security, they are destroying possible traps by throwing explosives one after the other. At close range, a Russian soldier throws a backpack full of anti-tank weapons into a shelter camouflaged with boards and walks away. Military personnel in the calculation of the anti-aircraft missile system TOR of the Vostok Group of Forces are actively involved in combat every day. One after another, they destroy the reconnaissance and attack drones they detect. TOR was developed specifically against cruise missiles, UAVs, helicopters, and low-altitude aircraft. Its range is 12 to 16 kilometers. Maximum altitude, 10 to 12 kilometers. TOR plays an important role on modern battlefields. The artillery of the 29th Army of the Vostok Group works on positions in the village, destroying the exposed firepower. As a result of the shelling, a large number of armored combat vehicles, bunkers, drone control centers, mortars, and various military equipment were hit. Units of the Vostok Group of Forces conducted an operation with snipers in the village of Velikaya Novoselka, South Donetsk direction. First, Russian drone operators attacked the Max Pro armored vehicle and immobilized it. Then sniper fire was opened by the sniper.
Цель.
In the Kupiansk direction, drone operators of the 26th Regiment destroyed a large number of detected shelters, bunkers, and temporary deployment points. Soldiers gather at temporary deployment points, assembly area or staging area, to serve specific tactical and operational purposes. There are several main reasons for this: operational readiness and coordination, security and protection, reinforcements and regrouping, mission briefing and intelligence sharing, rest and morale. Drone operators of the center group intercepted the German Marder infantry fighting vehicle as a result of drone attacks. The crew then quickly abandoned the vehicle. The drones did not stop the attack. They tried to destroy the vehicle by targeting the open hatch. I think the drone is too high. If it was a little lower, it could have been destroyed in one shot. The drone dropped 3 bombs. A fiber optic drone delivered the final strike and destroyed the armored personnel carrier vehicle. an M113 APC detected in the direction of Makayevka and apparently abandoned as a result of the attacks. American-made armored vehicles used by the Ukrainian armed forces in the Sudza region were destroyed one by the FPV drone operators of the Russian armed forces. Many armored vehicles were destroyed. In the situation brought about by modern warfare, armored vehicles no longer seem to be very protected. In the comments of the previous video, a viewer mentioned that armored vehicles are historical artifacts. Do you agree with this? What do you think? Scouts of the 30th Motorized Rifle Regiment of the Northern Group of Forces destroyed one by one the armored vehicles of the attackers of the village of Ulanok in the Kursk region today. Have you ever used FPV drones before in your life? FPV drones are not only a technology used for military purposes. Later on, bombs were placed on FPV drones and they started to be used on the battlefield. Using a FPV drone is a much more skillful device than normal drones. This armored vehicle appears to have been abandoned. There is no one inside the vehicle, and there is clearly no one in the surrounding area. Russian reconnaissance drone operators detected the firing position of the Ukrainian armed forces. They observed and reported on the position for a while. Then an attack drone was sent to the spot, and the drone detonated the position. Since it was under the ground, it may not have penetrated all the way in, but the impact of the explosion seems to have caused the ground to collapse. Artillery of the North V Brigade of the Volunteer Corps opened heavy fire on infantry near Chasovy Yar as part of the Southern troops, the Corps representative told TASS. The Ministry of Defense of the Russian Federation showed footage of the destruction of armored vehicles of the armed forces of Ukraine by FPV drone calculations. Another attack in the Kursk region has been repelled. Today, a large number of armored fighting vehicles, tanks, and various military vehicles were destroyed by drones. What do you think about very cheap drones destroying million-dollar tanks and armored vehicles? Do you think this is fair? What are the ways to stop FPV drones? Because it seems that modern technology has not yet found a permanent solution. In the Donetsk region, military personnel of the Zapad force group detected two 82mm mortars. They attacked this mortar, which was actively firing, with FPV drones. They dropped the ammunition on the drone directly into the mortar and destroyed the mortar with a direct hit. According to the news, soldiers of the 20th Guards Army carried out this operation. Near Pokrovsk, a Bradley infantry fighting vehicle was pulled into a mine trap. Soldiers of the Central Forces Group pulled the NATO infantry fighting vehicle to the spot where the mine was located, and the fighting vehicle stepped on the mine and exploded. Russian FPV drones attacked an armored group trying to advance in Kamyansk in the Zaporizhia region without delay. Thanks to the skillful maneuvers of the drone operators, the armored combat vehicles were hit with precision strikes. Don't forget to write your thoughts about FPV drones in the comments. Combat drones shot down and destroyed 5 drones. These drones, which were planning reconnaissance and attack, were disabled by crashing in the air. According to the details of the news, unmanned aerial vehicles carrying battering rams belonging to the Ukrainian armed forces were shot down. At the same time as the ground battles continue, drone wars in the air also continue. What do you think about drones fighting in the air? A UAV control point of the Ukrainian armed forces in the direction of Zaporizhia is being destroyed by Russian drone operators. As can be seen in the video, a small UAV control point is set up underground and the antenna is sticking out. A UAV attacks and destroys a UAV control point. Russian drone operators tied a stick to a Russian drone in the direction of Kupiansk. Then the drone duel started in the air. Many drones were shot down with sticks. What do you think? South of Yampolivka, an infantry fighting vehicle is speeding alone. The armored vehicle, which became an open target in open terrain, was attacked by a Russian FPV drone. A huge explosion occurred with the detonation of the ammunition inside the armored infantry fighting vehicle. There is no mention of what the target was in the details of the news, but when I look at the video a little closer, I guess it was a self-propelled howitzer. Maybe I'm wrong, I don't know, correct me if I'm wrong. One by one, FPV drone attacks are launched on the vehicles that are trying to be camouflaged among the trees, but there is no crew in sight. This makes me wonder if the vehicles have been abandoned. But I don't think so. Don't forget to write your thoughts in the comments. In the direction of Kharkiv, there was an FPV drone attack on a KAMAZ truck used by the Ukrainian armed forces. There are 3 types of KAMAZ trucks that I know. KAMAZ 4310, used as a military transport vehicle. KAMAZ 5350 Mustang, capable of carrying heavy loads and towing artillery systems. KAMAZ 65225, tank transporter heavy truck. The truck destroyed in the video looks like a KAMAZ 4310. Fiber optic drone operators destroyed MLRS BM-27 Uragan, used by the armed forces of Ukraine in the border area of the Sumy region. The BM-27 Uragan is still used by Russia, Ukraine, Belarus, Kazakhstan, and some other former Soviet countries. In the Kharkiv region, the Russian armed forces destroyed 2 mobile groups of the 82nd Otshpur of the AFU. The footage shows Kozak 7 armored vehicles in service with the brigade. In the Kursk region, a Russian FPV drone operator directly attacks the detected self-propelled gun 2S1 Gvozdika from the engine part and destroys the self-propelled gun with a single hit. Weather conditions in the southern Donetsk direction are very bad. Despite the difficult weather conditions, the drone operators of the 14th Guards Brigade of the Special Forces of the Vostok Group destroyed the Kozak armored combat vehicle as a result of successive drone strikes. The Kozak armored combat vehicle is a military vehicle of the MRAP class. It is manufactured by the Ukrainian defense company Praktika. It provides high protection against mines and small arms fire. The fiber optic drone detected the basement with the soldier inside and slowly moved towards the basement with heavy and light maneuvers. A tank of the armed forces of Ukraine was destroyed by the fiber optic drone after several hits. A pickup truck was detected, allowing the infantry to move quickly. There is a damaged vehicle on the right side and its crew is hidden under the trees. A small bunker has been built under a power pole. The reconnaissance drones that detected this reported the coordinates to the attack drone operators. Two soldiers of the 132nd Brigade of the Russian Armed Forces blew up a basement in Dzerzhinsk. The source of the news does not mention the details of what blew up the bunker, but I think it was an anti-tank mine. They threw a bag full of anti-tank mines into the basement and it blew up. The crew of the Hyacinth B of the Central Forces Group opened fire on the targeted positions in succession. 152mm 2 A36 Hyacinth B gun. In the Andreevka settlement in the direction of Kupiansk, the Lancet drone dived at direct speed and destroyed the target with a direct hit. The calculation of the Tor-M20 anti-aircraft missile system of the 1st Guards Combined Arms Army of the Zapad Group of Forces destroyed reconnaissance. Tor-M1, SA-15 Gauntlet, is a Russian-made short-range air defense system developed to protect against aircraft, helicopters, cruise missiles, unmanned aerial vehicles, UAVs, and smart munitions. The Tor-M1 and its more advanced versions, Tor-M2, are used by a number of countries, including Russia, China, Iran, Egypt, Greece, Azerbaijan, and Belarus. A pickup truck parked on the side of the road was detected in the Kharkiv region. Russian drone operators then sent attack drones in succession to completely destroy the vehicle. 4 drones directly attacked the truck. I'm guessing that this is probably a truck that was used to relocate Ukrainian soldiers. They don't have a truck anymore. Electronic warfare station Nota detected. The Lancet kamikaze then swung into action and directly hit the target, causing its destruction. The 6th Motorized Rifle Division of the 3rd Army Corps of the 3rd Army Corps of the Southern Group of Forces struck the UAV control center of the Ukrainian Armed Forces Group near Chasivoy Yar. The drone visible in the video is the Baba Yaga model. The control and coordination point of the Baba Yaga drone was hit with a direct hit. Russian reconnaissance drone operators detected 3 temporary deployment points. After the reconnaissance drone operators transmitted the precise coordinates they received to the attack drone operators, the attack on the deployment points started. A communication device was also detected and destroyed by the drone operators. Intense clashes continue in the Dnipropetrovsk region. The crews of the T-72B3M tanks of the Vostok Group hit the strongholds in South Donetsk. Moving deeper into the positions, the tanks are getting closer and closer to the border, hitting all targets one by one. The success rate of the operations is increasing as a result of the army units working in harmony. In the Pokrovsk and Toretsk direction, Russian drone operators destroyed armored personnel carriers, armored combat vehicles, machine gun nests, artillery, trucks, pickups, positions, bunkers, a UAV checkpoint, and much more. A large number of military equipment was burned and destroyed in successive drone strikes on positions and bunkers. Soldiers' temporary deployment positions were hit one by one as a result of precise coordinates given by drone operators to artillery units. These positions contain various military equipment. There are also humanitarian aid supplies, such as rations. A temporary deployment point in the Kharkiv region was destroyed by Russian FPV drones. The drone, gliding slowly, penetrated into the bunker. In the village of Pokrovsk, Prince of Novgorod Vandal FPV drone shot down a pickup truck of the armed forces of Ukraine. According to the news, the truck was carrying electronic warfare system. Drone reconnaissance drone operators of the Southern Forces Group lifted the drone to conduct reconnaissance in the direction of Kurakovsky. The coordinates of the detected positions were reported to the attack drone operators, and all positions were hit. The Russian Defense Ministry announced the destruction of the FPV drone launch points of the armed forces of Ukraine by calculations. The shots were fired with MLRS Grad. Russian FPV reconnaissance drone operators detected the drone launch points of the Ukrainian armed forces. Then the coordinates were reported to the Grad crew, and the attack began without delay. In the Kharkiv region, Russian guards went on the offensive, targeting fortresses built by the Ukrainian armed forces. The source of the attack was not specified in the news report. Do you think this could be a cluster bomb attack? Or what else? Write your thoughts in the comments. This time, the BM-21 Grad MLRS, used by the Ukrainian armed forces, was detected, and 2 fiber-optic drones destroyed the vehicle in the forest plantation. Both Ukraine and Russia use the BM-21 Grad MLRS. It is a Soviet-made system. Ukraine inherited many BM-21 Grad systems when the USSR collapsed. A large amount of equipment of the Ukrainian armed forces was detected in the Sumy region. The Iskander crew then fired a ballistic missile, hitting the target with a direct hit. In this video released by the Russian Defense Ministry, it is reported that more than 50 pieces of equipment were destroyed. In the Predticino area, a Humvee was neutralized by drone operators of the 27th Artillery Regiment. It slowly glided forward and slammed into the rear, burning the vehicle. The crew is not visible in the video. Where do you think they could be? A howitzer used by the Ukrainian armed forces in the direction of Kursk was destroyed by a kamikaze. The kamikaze in the video looks like a Lancet, but it is far away and hard to make out. Do you have any idea what model this kamikaze is? A camouflaged 2S1 Gvozdika self-propelled gun was detected in the area of the village of Kucherovka. Without wasting any time, the drone destroyed the self-propelled gun in smooth and light maneuvers. Intense fighting continues in the Kursk region. According to the report, FPV drone operators destroyed self-propelled artillery, an evacuation vehicle with personnel, 2 minibuses, a reconnaissance van, a Ural truck carrying food, Bukhanka van, KAMAZ truck, M77 howitzer. An M113 armored tracked armored personnel carrier detected in the Zaporozhye region was destroyed with a single hit. There is no information about the crew. A vehicle traveling in the same direction was attacked by a FPV drone. The crew then got out of the vehicle and sped away. Later, another drone was sent to destroy the vehicle completely, and as a result of the ammunition it dropped at close range, the vehicle was completely destroyed by fire. The 98th Airborne Division paratroopers launched a direct attack on the village of Chasov Yar with the BM-21 Grad multiple rocket launch system. Many positions, vehicles, armored combat vehicles were damaged. The moment of attack of the Russian-developed BT-40 Kamikaze FPV drone on the HIMARS in the direction of Kharkov. This low-cost and highly maneuverable drone finished off the HIMARS in one hit. In the Kharkiv region, a base was found in the woods at night. A series of precision strikes followed without delay. What do you think could be the source of this attack? Is this a multiple launch rocket system? Write your opinion in the comments. After the base was hit one after another, a group of soldiers wanted to run to neighboring positions, but Russian drone operators were already waiting for them. In the Kursk region, the Russian fiber-optic Novgorod Prince of Novgorod Vandal drone detected targets hidden in the bushes and then quickly dived in. You see an abandoned BMP-1 in the Kursk region. This armored combat vehicle was previously subjected to a serious attack. Because of this, the crew quickly abandoned the armored vehicle. Then the Prince of Novgorod Vandal drone struck hard, causing the BMP-1 to be completely destroyed. A group of soldiers were planning to unload building materials and build a small place in the woods. The truck was also equipped with an electronic warfare system. Detecting the situation, Russian FPV drone operators skillfully flew without hitting the branches of the trees and destroyed the truck by hitting it directly.